Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
You peel.
Oh, well, I wasn't cooking it. It was served to me. So however they gave it to me, it looked like a tongue with the
Otherwise,
little bumps
then
on the
it's
tongue.
tasting you, and that's not good.
So it's mutual.
You Frenched a pig's tongue in Chinatown, is what I heard, and I don't approve.
Hey.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week we choose a popular saying to take it admittedly shallow, a hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're really lucky, educational dive into its origins, its usage, its meaning, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am impressed. Wow. That's been 4 years in the coming.
Finally.
Wow.
If I'm being honest, I got some of the meaning, usage, origins out of order, but
who's one of the closest ones
who's
ever?
reading the script
I'm skinny.
but me?
Oh, man.
You are impressed and skinny. You're impressive.
I am. I know it's so I've decided to go with like a box pattern. It's really slimming.
It's boxy.
Yeah.
Boxy, but good.
Mm-hmm. Boxy lady. Anyway. It's all good. It's an amazing week. Life is treating me amazing.
Is it?
I don't know that life gets much more amazing.
Wow. That's great.
And
why is that? Is it just like you've gotten into the routine of things?
Well, I figure someone out there, if you think about it, someone always has to be living an amazing life. And one day I thought,
why not me?
that should be me. And so I looked around. I didn't see anybody.
Looked behind.
I didn't see anybody doing it, and I thought, now's my chance to really seize it and be the guy who everything goes great for. No one else was doing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was like a neat business opportunity.
It's one of those things where I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, well, I'd heard about it, and then I looked around. I saw no one doing it, and I'm like, this could be like an opening. Like,
and how's it going?
I might be the guy. It's going great.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's.
Can you credit your happiness in life to any one thing?
Kindness.
Sorry. I just wasn't expecting such an altruistic answer.
Just heaps of kindness.
I was trying to get you to lead into the fact that it's not any one thing, but rather
it's just
more along the line.
I took a mixology course the other day. Variety.Is.The.Spice.Of.Life, you know.
Variety is the spice of life.
It is.
So the fact that you're giving credence to a specific one thing, as nice as it is, kindness. Come on. Variety is the spice of life.
I hadn't really thought about any one particular thing, but it makes some sense. It makes some sense.
Which does? That variety is the spice of life, or kindness is?
Well, I like variety, but I don't like forced variety.
What is forced variety?
Well, like the spice, like, so think about like the.
You're about to say the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Stop.
Don't make fun of the Spice.
Don't make fun of the Spice Girls.
I'm a Jerry Halliwell fan.
Scary.
No, she's ginger. You're into Scary?
Yeah, Scary Spice.
Oh, I'm into Ginger Spice. Get me some of that Ginger Spice. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. I don't care if it's autumn or not. I love me Ginger Spice.
Oh, Ginger Spice Latte? There's no Scary Spice Latte. I bet there is a Ginger Spice Latte.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be a thing. But when it's like it's forced, like we have to have, everybody represented in that kind of way where it's like forced. I'm not a fan.
Like they have to each have a spice name?
It's like we're after every, like, trying to hit every like facet of like intersectionality. I find that bizarre.
I'm still waiting for an example of forced variety. Are you talking about how is the Spice Girls forced variety?
Something like when a band is assembled like that, and so we're gonna need somebody who's like this particular.
Oh, because they went posh, sporty, cutie.
We've got to have
tough girl. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so it has to all be like mashed together. We need a little something from every category to.
But they just wanted us to spice up our lives.
I just don't know that kind of spice is the
spice up your life. No,
is the variety.
When to become one. Spice Girls.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
I went to a Spice Girls concert. Wait, check that. I tried to go to a Spice Girls concert. I was with a friend, and it was day of. It's like, let's just go see if we can get scalper tickets for cheap.
Yep.
Like, super last minute on the street. And so we're there. Had just watched Spice World and actually saw their drummer get out of a bus and walk into the building. I'm like, that's their drummer. I've seen him in some of their videos. And so I should explain my real reason for loving the Spice Girls.
Jerry. This is amazing.
Is I'm drawn to things.
She's 50
now or then?
Not then.
Oh,
no, whatever age I was then is what she was then, and so now she is 50.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to things that are bigger than they should be. So like when Ernest P. Worrell, which was a beer commercial, became, hey, Vern, you know what I mean, Vern? And then all of a sudden there's Vern Goes to Camp movies, Vern Goes to Prison movies. I'm like, that should have never taken off like it did. When Where's the Beef commercial was like unbelievably huge, that you can buy product from a commercial, not the product they're selling, but product representing the commercial. And I felt like the Spice Girls were that, because none of them are phenomenal singers.
Right.
But it was like they were right place, right time, girl power. I'm like, I love it. I love when something is way bigger than it should be. In most cases,
yeah.
I still don't understand Drake. But
I don't get Drake. I don't.
But
I'm with
when
ya.
something like Justin Bieber
I
as a
don't get
kid
it.
was just like as big as the Beatles when he was 12, I'm like, I love it. So anyway, we went to this concert, or we tried to go to the concert, went down, scalpers all over the place. And they're like, $200. And we're like, okay, well, wait. Like, $200. I think the concert's about to start. Like, do you want to get rid of it for any cheaper? It's $200. Like, okay, so we wait. We can hear the music from outside a BC Place. It's like, the concert's already going. $200. Go around the corner and find somebody else. Never drop their price. I'm like, don't you want just $50? Like, you can go home. Like, it's over. We're the last people here. The concert's been going for 20 minutes. Give you $50. It's $200. Like, you can go home with your ticket, or
He's
you
done
can
this
take my
before.
50. And he goes, I guess we're done. Like, would not budge, and went home with whatever spare tickets he had.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't get in?
Didn't get in.
Oh, I
We
thought
were
the story was
shocked.
going to end differently.
No. We heard it muffled through the walls of BC Place from the street on Broadway or whatever that is. Wow. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Truly.
my only like gripe against the ensemble that way is just that hint of contrivedness.
Is there any other band like that where they're like, because they're not particularly diverse in their appearance.
One Direction.
In their appearance, they're not really that diverse. Even the Spice Girls. Scary's the only person of color.
I didn't think about that.
So it's just
really?
It's just their assigned names. Like, we need a sporty person. We need a cute person.
Yes.
We need a posh person.
We need a redhead. We need a brunette. We need a
blonde.
yeah.
But yeah, is there any other band? I mean,
One
Def
Direction.
Leppard, one-arm drummer, just to get that vote. I mean, you only need one hand to vote, but
Well, that's funny. So you really think that Def Leppard was going after the one digit or one limbed group?
well, I was gonna call them amputees, but
That's a good word. Like the vets, people
yeah,
who've been
I think that's why
blown up in
that's
the
why
war.
they hired that guy, isn't it?
Is to get the amputee vote.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder what the band meeting would be like. Okay, guys, we've been putting this little band together.
I'm not been happy with any of the drummers we've had so far.
What
We have one more audition.
What do you mean? No, these guys sound fantastic. They're very talented.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. We need diversity in the group.
I don't know. Like, they've been really talented. Like, what else would you possibly be after?
Well, what's something that's different than all of us? Like, let's see, we're all white males.
Okay. It's like, well, in terms of like the metal scene, it's predominant. Like, I feel like that's predominantly what's going on.
Okay, let's look at it this way. We've got pretty much every audience in our back pocket. We've got the preteens. We've got the teeny boppers. We've got
It's
even
funny that you say that.
the blue collar workers. But what group of people aren't listening to us?
The veterans. I don't think we have a real veteran kind of.
Huh. Well, maybe we need some songs. Maybe we need a soldier drummer instead of playing. Instead of banging the drums, he just fires pistols into the air. On beat.
It's interesting. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like a bit of a beatboxing kind of guy,
But with pistols. Huh. That sounds dangerous, actually.
yeah. I don't know if we can pull off
guys?
live pistols.
I got one idea.
What are we doing?
How about a one-armed drummer?
Let's bring him in.
Let's bring him in. Look, let's see what you got here.
He can only play the hi-hat.
I have a question. So when you need to play like the cymbals and like the snare, how do you do that with just your one arm? No, I don't question that you have great timing. I'm just curious how you play the other drums.
I'm headbanging. That's how headbanging got started too.
And that's how headbanging got started. Now that we've offended everyone. I don't know how that business meeting would have possibly got going.
Now, if I'm not mistaken,
That
the
scene got
truth
away
is
from us there.
He was a two-armed drummer at first, wasn't he?
I don't.
In the band, and then lost his arm in a drumming accident.
What was he drumming exactly?
No, I don't know what happened, but if memory serves me correctly,
It's like, that's not a snare, that's a landmine.
he's twirling his sticks and yeah, I don't know.
Got out of
It sounds
control, smashed the
Spinal
landmine.
Tap, like
and
all-
that's how he it was Leopard. But then it became Def Leppard.
Yeah,
when
lost one arm and the hearing on one side.
when Ordnance blew up his snare. Wow, what a way to go. I bet you that roadie was he was fired after that day. Because he's like,
what are we talking about today again? Oh, Spice Girls.
when he was setting up, it's like, okay, so here's the tom goes here, the hi-hat here, this is where the landmine goes, and they just totally screwed up. It's like, oh no.
I was trying to think
That's
of
where I was
Def
supposed to put a
Leppard's-
snare there.
I was trying to think of
And I
Def
put a
Leppard
landmine.
album names. Isn't there one like Destruction or something like that?
I don't know. But he was for sure fired for placing a landmine where the snare should have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the drummer of all the people that need two arms.
Yeah, I can't imagine like a guitar player going for like the wah-wah pedal and it's a landmine.
Drum solo.
And it's all explosives. That's the clock ticking down. Oh.
Anyway, we're actually talking about the variety is the spice of life.
Oh, yeah. You know what's actually fun on Variety-Wise is going out with you to eat. Because when we go
I
to...
will always choose variety.
You will always pick the weirdest thing on the menu.
You have to.
And so it's like, oh, like slug phalange. And you're like, slug phalange?
Haven't tried that.
Is that a thing? Like that little ribbon part that's on the bottom of a
It's
slug?
been a while since I've gone. I think it's been since before COVID that I've been to the Chinese night market where there's always some tasty something that you never tried before. I've had frog legs there, which isn't a Chinese delicacy, but it was delicious. Had pig's tongue on a little platter. It was tasty, but unnerving that it looked like a tongue on a platter.
It's the meal that tastes you.
It looks like what it is. Like when you eat chicken nuggets, you don't see like the little baby
like a piece
chicken
of thigh.
wings, but a pig's tongue on a platter that looks like a big white tongue with the little bumps. You know, you look in the mirror at your own tongue.
You're supposed to peel that off.
No.
Yes.
No.
When you are cooking tongue, you peel.
Oh well, I wasn't cooking it. It was served to me. So however they gave it to me, it looked like a tongue with the
Otherwise,
little bumps
then
on the
it's
tongue.
tasting you, and that's not good.
So it's mutual.
You Frenched a pig's tongue in Chinatown, is what I heard, and I don't approve.
Hey, all I'm saying is variety is the spice of life.
I'm not here to judge you,
Yeah, I think you are.
but just a little bit that you Frenched a pig.
Well, we're going to get into the
Chinatown.
origins of Variety is the Spice of Life. But once again, I've got a game to see if Skinny can guess its origins.
Okay.
So did Variety is the Spice of Life as an idiom, does it have its origins in A, trading on the Silk Road around the 1st century BC. 1st century BC.
No. So I feel like you're roping in the whole spice and spice trade, and you've got me so far. Continue.
I said trading on the Silk Road. They were trading silk. I've not even mentioned
No.
Spices weren't invented before Jesus.
Yes, they were. Because in the book of Exodus, I wish we had spices. They complained about spices.
Yeah, but that's slang for drugs. Oh, no, wait, that's Star Wars.
It's okay.
Narco Spice and Star Wars.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, or
Speaking of this whole thing with Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got to get this out before I forget. So we read up on it because it was like so insane, Cocaine Bear. And when all was said and done, they got the bear, taxidermied the bear, and named it Pablo Escobar.
Who did? What bear? A real bear? Or
Real
in
bear.
the movie?
No, the real bear. The real
bear that acted in the movie. They killed it and taxidermied it?
No, the real Cocaine Bear.
Oh, because it's a true story.
Because it's a true story.
Right, I forgot about
Pablo Escobar.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so continue.
Wow.
The Silk Road, which is made of dirt.
I just heard
Explain
an interview
that.
with Elizabeth Banks. I guess she was behind the making of the movie and is in the movie. And I had zero interest until I heard her interview, and I'm like, okay, I might check it out. I also didn't know it was a true story, which makes it extra fun. All right, so Silk Road trading 1st century BC, or did Variety.Is.The.Spice.Of.Life come from the psychedelic era of the 60s and early 70s?
Okay.
Or
It's freedom, baby.
this is where I've made a mistake. Or did it come from the details of the JFK assassination?
Well, that doesn't sound made up.
That was the third choice from last week, which apparently is still in my notes.
Oh, so here's what I'm thinking, guys.
Based on my
assassins, listen to me. I know we normally, maybe inject them with poison. We can blow them up. I'm thinking we just go old school and we just shoot them this time. What do you guys think? Well, variety is the spice of life. I know. But let's just go with plain old assassination via shooting.
So
I just hate that we have to do it the same way all the time. Okay, now listen to me. It's effective. We know it's going to work frequently. I'm just saying I'm getting bored of assassinating this way. So I'm not going to go with option 3. I do like the Silk Road. I'm going Silk Road. Illegitimate children. A, B, or C? 1, 2, or 3?
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
all right, so here is the deal.
You better not be JFK.
The reason JFK is even on that list is because I accidentally left it on there from the week before.
Okay.
Because X marks the spot. There is an X on the road where JFK was assassinated. I was hoping you would go for that. The fact that it's still on this week's option means I failed to put in the right answer. So I put in my 2 fake answers and forgot to remove JFK.
So it's D.
So it's D, which we're going to get into now. So the expression variety is the spice of life originates from the 1st century BC. So that part's true. The first iteration of the saying leading to the modern phrase comes from the work of Publilius. It's probably Publilius.
Sorry.
Publilius
So like there's a grade 8 boy trapped in my body.
comes from the work of Publilius.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
I'm going to change his name to Calvin. Comes from Calvin Cyrus, Maxim 406. And it says, no pleasure endures unseasoned by variety. So to stretch, it's also translated into English saying no pleasure endures unseasoned by variety. But most people think that that is the actual origin. So that is 1st century BC. Then we got to fast forward to 1681 before we get any other reference to it in print. The Rover by dramatist Afra Ben. Variety is the soul of pleasure. So very similar to that first century BC one. Then we fast forward to 1758. The phrase would change to the joy of life is variety, which is in the book The Idler, written by Samuel Johnson. But the number one credit is much more modern-ish compared to all those. So those are close, but this guy gets the credit across the board. Everybody says Variety.Is.The.Spice.Of.Life comes from William Cowper. C-O-W-P-E-R. Cowper. Is that how you'd say that?
Okay.
He gets the credit for coining the modern expression in his work called The Task, which was written in 1785. So I say modern loosely, based on, compared to first century BC, it's modern. As a comment on the rapidly changing fashion of the day in 1785. You know how they're known for their fashion.
Of course.
And this is what he wrote in his work called The Task. Variety's the very spice of life that gives it all its flavor. We have run through every change that fancy at the loom exhausted has had genius to supply. So almost bang on. Variety's the very spice of life that gives it all its flavor. William Cowper, The Task. That is the origin story from beginning to middle to end. Nothing missed out. William Cowper for the win. Also, Publius Syrus. Publilius.
It's good. Not something I would call my kid, but if you want beaten on a daily basis, then sure.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that. And I particularly wouldn't have guessed it because you didn't tell me that was an option.
Publili.
Oh, it's like, oh.
As if Cowper wouldn't get called Cowpie all through high school. Bill Cowpie.
Well,
Matt. Variety is the spice of life. So that's the origin story. But you're right. Not just eating, but like variety. Like I think about your 3 Minutes Gone series that you did on YouTube. Yep. And I did join in with you on a variety of things, not as many as you. I was genuinely jealous of some of the trip-based things you got to do, like Puxatawny Phil, like seeing things. And I do lean towards trivial things. Like
I love trivial things.
Yeah, like
it's just as good as anything else.
Seen, I've been to Graceland. I've been to JFK's assassination site. I've been to. I've seen Bonnie and Clyde's too. These are all deaths. Wow. Anyway, I do like experiencing the less common things. So when
ketchup chips,
when you're doing ketchup chips,
just because it's like a Canadian thing, is it?
It is Canadian. It's considered one of the less, it's criticized outside of our country.
So ketchup chips.
Are you saying that's a good variety?
Well, just that it's
like I was just listing off the things I like, and you shouted out ketchup chips.
Just jumped into my brain.
You're just craving.
Yeah. I was thinking about different parts of the world. Maybe they have different, if
yeah. So that's true. Like first time I had poutine, first time I had Montreal smoked meat sandwich was in Montreal.
That's awesome.
I'm like, that was coincidence. That's just the first time it was introduced to me, and then it was everywhere. But I'm like, I had that there. Somebody from Nanaimo a couple weekends ago brought me a Nanaimo bar.
That's
just
cool.
The fact that it was from Nanaimo, I'm like, that's different.
Do you know the favorite chip of Saudi Arabia?
First time I played hide and seek was with my next door neighbor who was Sikh. I love when those things all tie together, and it's all walks of life. What were you gonna say?
Like we have ketchup chips.
That's all you're gonna say. After all that,
but in Saudi Arabia,
we got ketchup chips.
Like in Arabic places, like Saudi Arabia,
yeah,
their favorite chip, salt and vinegar.
Is this true?
It's salt and vinegar.
Salt. Oh my goodness,
that would be a good Saudi.
I didn't even hear it at first. I'm
Saudi
like,
Arabia.
Is it really their favorite? Yeah, okay.
No, I wonder if it's like cumin chip or something, like some Mediterranean spice.
I think they've tried all that stuff here too. Like, there's always weird. I remember one that was like turkey turkey and stuffing. It was like a Thanksgiving potato chip. And
That
I'm like,
sounds awesome.
Stuffing, yeah. And, I
Isn't
mean,
stuffing just more bready type?
yeah, like it's like having baked potato flavored potato chips. So sour cream and onion.
Cheddar. Well, it's just that there's a variety. Went to the covered chip factory when we were going through, kind of like in that New Brunswicky area, this covered bridge factory, and there was 30 different flavors of chips.
Covered Bridge Factory.
It was called the Covered Bridge, like brand of chips. You know, like how
I
we
see.
have like
so it's not
Lay's.
it's not a factory making covered bridges.
They have the world's longest covered bridge there, and also
and it's the factory that makes them.
And so, like, they've doubled down on that. This is their claim to fame, is the covered bridge. And so there's the shortest covered bridge in the world, and also the longest covered bridge in the world.
How short is the shortest?
It's, I don't know, like 6 feet. it's just.
I think we could beat that. Is it in Guinness? I think we could beat that.
Yeah, we just do it like make it out of toothpicks or something.
That'd be great.
Just real thin. Balsa. But anyways, yeah, just there's 30 something chips. I don't know, just I agree. The variety.
Yeah.
The variety.
But variety
Now-
can also there's a word for it where too much variety stops people from choosing things.
But just like choosing anxiety kind of.
Yeah, so I heard this whole like news, not like a podcast, I think it was, about how many choices there are in denim, like the pair of jeans.
Wow.
Used to be you went to the store, there was Levi's. Mm-hmm. And then now there's 100 and whatever choices at your fingertips, any store you go into. And it actually stops people from buying things. When there's too much choice, you like slow down.
Well, that's it's like the power of like In-N-Out Burger. Like,
It's such a small menu.
it's like, you want fries? Do you want a drink? And do you want a burger? Because that's what we have.
I don't know if I've said this before, and this has nothing to do with the variety of spice or
If it
variety
has nothing
being.
to do with this podcast.
No, I'm saying
Then that would be unusual. It's not like anything else has anything to do with anything here.
moving graphics. I know. We all have
Like TV.
We all have, like a TV. We all have fancy moving monitors and screens now. I get it. We all know it. But when I'm at McDonald's, I just want to see a static menu. Like I go to order.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like, how has nobody figured out that we hate your menus now?
Yeah, Tim Hortons is brutal.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
It's
Like,
like
have one.
steaming cocoa
Have
on the
one
side.
off to the side that flashes your promotional things. But then just have the old-fashioned menu so I can go, I want... The number of times their advertising works. It's like, new spicy burger. That works. And then it disappears. And I'm like, I'm going to have...
I can't remember.
I'm going to have to wait till it comes around.
Just give me that. I'll have a Big Mac.
Oh, they're moving menus. Spread the word. If you're in fast food, stop moving your menus. We just want the list. That's all I'm going to say.
Give me the list.
All right.
I did come across this to tell you quick before we head into Riddle Links, because I know you like, and you commented last week on wordplay, and I saw this and it made me think that you would enjoy it. It's, what do you call an overweight average ogre eating beef flavored yogurt?
This is a lot. Say it again.
Okay, it was what do you call an overweight average
Why the word average?
ogre eating beef flavored yogurt? It was a word play that ends up that I'd not heard before that cracked me up. The answer:
Yeah.
a mediocre meaty ogre eating meaty yogurt.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's actually great.
I know you like those kind of
Meaty-
wordplay.
Say it again.
So it's a mediocre meaty ogre eating meaty yogurt. Yeah,
What?
it's like
so
he
it's
sells, she sells.
Meaty is the first word.
It's a
meaty?
mediocre meaty ogre. A mediocre meaty ogre. Like average.
Fat.
Average is mediocre. Meaty ogre.
Wow.
Mediocre ogre eating meaty yogurt. Anyways, it's stupid. But from last week, I thought I had to tell you this week.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. You know what?
Particular type of chip.
Now I got it. I was not hearing all the words. So that's got to be smelling salt and vinegar.
That's it.
Smelling salt and vinegar. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Very nice.
The olfactory
Olfactory
Epsom.
Epsoms.
Wow. All right, here's one for you. Let's see, which one do I want to give you? I'll give you this one.
Sure.
Switching it up has more flavor for this iconic tabloid. Switching it up has more flavor for this iconic tabloid.
Variety is the Spice of Life magazine.
That's it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was struggling this week.
oh man, that was tricky.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
minor
this,
lame.
This you'll get this one. Illegitimate children, chime in, see if you can beat them. Cat and mouse cartoon looks like Ginger Spice.
I like it.
Cat and mouse cartoon looks like Ginger Spice.
That would be Tom and Jerry Halliwell.
Yes.
That's why she's your favorite, because you were setting her up for the riddling.
And she's my favorite.
And she's 50 now.
And she's 50.
All right, I got one more.
Reach out to me, Jerry Halliwell.
If you'd like to reach out, Jerry, Ginger, and play this game, this is how you do it. Tell them how you do it.
Oh, sorry, I was off somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that. You were thinking you're in Jerryland.
You can reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us, Jerry, reach out to the Village Idiom podcast at gmail.com. Or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
I was listening to Conan. Was it Conan?
And friends?
No, Conan Needs a Friend. I think it was him interviewing Jenny McCarthy.
Okay.
Jenny McCarthy married Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay.
They had a son named Evan Asher, who broke up with his girlfriend she was sharing and wrote a song to Selena Gomez. She's
That's
like,
a lot
everybody
of
go
names.
check it out. Evan Asher, he writes a song to Selena Gomez, and he's just every day going, has Selena reached out? It's, but yeah, it's like, I listened to it, I'm like, oh, it's awkward. It's like watching one of our kids do a song, and we've got to all go, good job, buddy. Hope Selena calls. Okay.
Well, tell us.
Here it is. William Cowper's poem is this Bible phrase about requesting and getting. William Cowper's poem is this Bible phrase about requesting and getting. This is a tricky one. 'cause
Hope you were paying attention.
You either had to pay attention or you're going to have to go back and rewind that. But there you go. William
That is
Cowper's.
3 Minutes Gone.
Nicely done.
Well, it was fun putting today's episode together. Hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did.
I know I did. That's two of us.
That's
And if it's not one of us, it's both of us, which is less than half of us.
If we had
Or
done
more
a
than four of us.
podcast that didn't include any idiom at all today, wouldn't that be more variety?
That's what we should do.
We missed it.
Next time.
Next time we get a
Episode
variety.
222. I'm Skinny,
I'm Jurassic Mark.
and these are the Village Idioms.
Cause variety.
That's 3 minutes gone.